everybody. We are here having a nice podcast today. I am joined by Courtney Reynolds, social media strategist, specialist, working professional extraordinaire, and I'm Jumar Newell of Launcharts Media. Today we are here to bring the attention to the public of an upcoming class entitled Social Media Masterclass 101. It takes place on March 18th. And we want to hit on a few good topics about social media. But before I get into that, Courtney, how are you today?
I'm well.
That's
I'm
good.
doing well. This is new for me.
Yeah. We want to just dive in and hit some frequently asked questions, because what we're dealing with is a medium that was originally just for, leisure and personal activity. So a big question that I get a lot is and I still get this from some people in business, what is the importance of social media in business? I can jump in first and answer that. Quite often when I get that question, I just kindly remind them that the market is digital now.
Yes.
And social media, although some generations still haven't gravitated to it yet, it is a necessity to have business representation, brand awareness in a social media, space.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate anything on that? What do you usually tell people if they ask the roundabout question?
Honestly, yeah, it's the same. Whatever your business is, no matter if you are direct to consumer or if you're business to business, having that presence online on social media is super important. It affects your SEO. It affects, honestly, your communication with your clients and customers. It affects how your reach is. It affects, honestly, everything. Just because, like you said, we're in a digital age.
Yeah, I go a step further. I got this whole map out of why they need to be on social media, and it's because one thing died, so social media came alive. Now,
like newspapers?
there you go. I'm of a certain age.
Print.
There you go. I'm of a certain age where, as a kid, I remember phone books. I remember newspapers. I remember billboards being heavy in the game. I remember the back of benches and people in handouts and flyers. All of those things relatively still are here.
Yeah.
Because the generations that utilized it are
still here, yeah.
But they aren't as effective. Here's another one that is like, come or go. Like, it depends on what you're doing in business. Mailers. All of these things. See, she's allergic to mailers. But I've worked with brands and businesses who are, and God bless them if they've been in this business for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
They don't want to like deviate from the script. Yeah. And they're like, oh no, get these mailers out. Get these mailers out, because this is what we're going to do.
I need my mailing list.
Yeah, and they did, and mailing list has transferred over to digital as well. But here's my reasoning, and this is what I tell them. You need to have a strong social media page, just like 25 years ago, you would have wanted the best billboard and the best location. They used to have a lot of sayings like location, and stuff like that for advertising. But when it comes to social media now, the marketplace is online. On a Facebook Boulevard, you got to have a good sign.
Is true.
On Twitter Street, you got to have a good sign.
Yeah.
On Instagram Way, you got to have a good sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need to have that presence. So that's kind of like my answer to them. What's the importance of social media? Everything has just evolved.
And you know what, too, I'll add to that is it's almost like your credibility is questioned if you're not. Just because it's so prevalent now. And I don't know, if whoever is listening, what stage they are in life, but I actually had a realtor that asked me how important was social media, and I told them that when I was looking for a realtor, I actually looked them up on social media to see what their listings were like, to see what their traffic was like. So
it's getting like that more and more.
Yeah.
So then we roll into what are the key elements of a strong social media presence.
Honestly, it's going to be keeping up with the analytics. A lot of platforms now are moving towards video to try to keep up with the TikToks of the world.
Uh-huh.
And so having that visual presence and having animated graphics is really important. I would say that's huge. And also just having something eye-catching. I was literally just telling a client that they only have like 8 seconds to grab someone's attention when they're flipping through their social media.
Right.
And if you don't have something that's super dynamic and that's going to catch someone's attention and want to learn more, then they're going to keep going. They're going to keep going right past your post. So it's really going to be about keeping up with the analytics, like I said, video, and then again, just having something like super high catching.
Yeah, I piggyback off of that because visually, that's where it's at now.
Yeah,
we're scrolling and we're looking, and especially like the intrigue. If you see like a video, and you got to hit the volume, but you're like, I wonder what they're saying. Like, so that's a little bit more of an intrigue. Not even a little bit more. That's the top. That's the optimal. Of in terms of the elements you can put in there.
Yeah.
I think some other elements would be like strong writing and graphics and things of that nature. But the bottom line is presence.
Yes.
You know, I think nothing kicks a business out of the consideration ring more than you haven't had a post since 2018.
Oh yeah, something is always better than nothing at all.
Right, exactly. Because nowadays a business is going to look and see, are you active?
Yes.
I mean, what's going on? Like, if you're not actively trying to, gain the attention of clients, are you still in business?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, how good is business for you that you can't either boast about the business you're doing,
right, or
be out there talking to your public?
Exactly.
So being on social media with a consistency of posting is an element to me. Presence is an element. But that all comes into play about the class that we're putting on March 18th. Exactly. So it is a collaboration of the JayLux group and Launcharts Media, two very prominent brands in the region in regards to social media management. Launcharts, of course, does social media management along with our video production. And we will have a few specialists on hand throughout the curriculum. Courtney Reynolds being one of the key members, and myself, and a few of our strategists and some of our designers. And it's going to be a great class to not only engage in, but also have a lot of great takeaways.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for it. What are your thoughts about the upcoming class, Courtney?
It's so funny because I was actually just talking to my mom about putting this class on and everything that we're going to have and everything that we're going to give the students that decide to come and learn from us. And she was telling me that we're giving so much away for such a low price. Yeah. Because when you go into like the materials that they're going to get to apply to their brands, the workbook that we've been talking about, she's like, that alone I feel like would be like $150. And then on top of that, we're giving them the free audit. We're giving them all of not all of everything. We can't give away all of our secrets, but we're giving them like a really good detailed outlook on how they can apply certain things to their brand and organize their team or just themselves, just organize their social media in a way where it's working when they're not. That's
right. And let me just go into that a little further. The reason why we're doing this, like, why are you doing this? Your social media management agencies, right? There is a gap that exists, whether it's because a brand is still in the starting gates and they haven't allocated the budget to outsource their social media marketing management, or maybe they're just a little bit apprehensive about handing it off because they're so,
it's their baby.
It's their baby. So we put our heads together and we thought, let's empower those individuals who either aren't ready for monetary budgeting reasons or aren't ready for brand creative expansion. Expand. So we want to equip you guys because, to be quite honest, this is a 101 class where we can and we should give you insights because ultimately we want all businesses. We want a thriving, healthy business economy.
Exactly.
So, we can't necessarily sit on all of this information. We have other high level practices and protocol that we do when we do take on a client in a more agency form. And some of those will be, discussed in higher tier, parts of the series, 102, 103.
Yeah.
But for 101, it's a great way to equip you with the understanding, the knowledge to manage social media for your brand on your own.
Yeah.
So, again, we carve the curriculum so that we definitely give you some great, valuable information.
A lot.
And it's almost a little crazy to be giving it away, but we feel the time is now. Social media is exploding, and
we want to make it affordable.
Right, that's what it is. So before we wrap this up, Courtney, do you want to kind of tell the viewing and listening public about your time in the industry or your experiences and how we've come to this point where you feel like there's a time to kind of teach it off to the masses?
Honestly,
teach it off to the masses.
I feel like I want to teach it to the masses because what I see out there a lot of times is trash, and I don't say that. I don't say that in a way to be like offensive, but you see posts out there and you can tell like this person is only working by themselves and they are trying and they just want to get their brand out there and they want to compete with the who's, right? They want to compete with the Skims and they want to compete with the Ultas and they want to compete with all these hair brands, the Ultras and whatever your industry is. You want to compete with the big guys because that's why you're doing it, right? A lot of people are not doing business for a side hustle anymore. I feel like those days are gone. And I want to see people win. Right. Honestly, at the end of the day, I want to see people win. And at the entry level, it's so hard to get your brand out there and it's so hard to get that recognition and it's so hard to look professional when you don't know what you're doing. Like this is our space because we truly enjoy it and we've taken the time to learn it and to learn all the different changes, constantly keeping ourselves updated on all the different updates on all the platforms and trends and whatnot. And so to be able to give that to a business owner that may be in a completely different industry just to help them to get their foot in the door, I feel like that is how I got here. And I feel like partnering with you, it was a no-brainer because we work so well together. Absolutely. And just really quick for me, everybody kind of has that, rising tide lifts all boats. Well, I really feel like a thriving business economy lifts all economies. Yeah. Like social, economic economies, things of that nature. And there has been an explosion of people going into business for themselves. But people won't stay in business long if they don't market their business. I've explained it in several different ways. But if you people still ask the question, what's marketing? Because it's such a interchangeable term. And some people think it's a more direct sales. Marketing in general is just use the understanding of going to the market, going to the produce. And I use this, I believe I told an intern with Launcharts, so they could grasp marketing. If I'm looking for apples, if I'm a salesperson selling produce, I better shine that apple up real nice. Yeah. To get it sold. Yeah. So if you have a business in the marketplace, you need to be shining that apple up. You need to be shining up whatever that product is. And the elements of social media management and consistency there is like shining that apple because you want to get that apple sold. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get really, really like symbolic and simplistic in terms of understanding and explaining. But I feel as though it's effective. But, we invite everyone to come out to this class. Again, it's on March 18th. It's called Social Media Masterclass 101. And it's Seating is limited.
Seating is limited. So you want to get to the Eventbrite and you want to register today. Yes. And that's another thing. We want to contain this class with a select amount of attendees for many various reasons. But more importantly, to ensure that everyone there gets the breadth of the information. There will be not only, portions where we're basically giving that information, but there'll be workshops. There'll be, a lot of engaging activities. And we want to be sure that everyone there is addressed. Their brand is, put in the forefront, and we can perform that audit and send them on their way stronger as social media managers of their brands than they were before they came in the door.
Yeah, yep. I think the audit is what I'm really excited about.
Absolutely. So again, Courtney Reynolds of JayLux Group, Jumar Newell, Launcharts Media. That's Social Media Masterclass 101 on March 18th. Get to Eventbrite, and we'll see you there.